every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is a story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. In our major story, President Muhammadu Buhari expresses satisfaction on assurances given by developers of Centenary City in Abuja. Also in this program, Sultan of Sokoto Mohammed Said Abubakar urges Muslim women to support the anti-graft war of the Buhari administration. Nigeria's ambassador to the United States, Adebowale Adefuye, dies at 68. And outside Nigeria, former Vatican envoy Joseph Voslesco dies few days before his trial for alleged child pornography. Many thanks for joining us again this night. The presidency has welcomed an assurance from Centenary City PLC that all the original inhabitants of the site have been fully compensated. Speaking after being briefed by the chairman of the company's board of directors, Abdulsalami Abubakar, and members of its management team, President Buhari praised the Centenary City's main development partners from the United Arab Emirates for having enough confidence in Nigeria to agree to invest about $18.5 billion in the project. President Buhari also welcomed the assertion by Abubakar and his team that the project will create about 150,000 more direct jobs in the Federal Capital Territory and about 500,000 indirect jobs. The president noted the skills, expertise, and vast experience that will be brought into the country to build the Centenary City on the Dubai model will also be of immense benefit to Nigeria's overall development. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who was also present at the briefing, said that the issue of the rights of the original inhabitants of the site acquired for the Centenary City had been of great concern to the present administration. Abubakar and the management of the Centenary City also told President Buhari and Vice President Osinbajo that the project will be totally private sector driven. The main development partners behind the Centenary City project have assured President Muhammadu Buhari the regional owners of the sites have been compensated. They also debunked allegations of fraud surrounding the initiative of the Jonathan administration. And speaking to State House correspondents after the meeting at the presidential villa in Abuja, the investors maintained that the $18.5 billion private sector-driven project will be completed in record time.
As you all know, Centenary City is 100% private sector development with no government funding. Centenary City PLC is owned by 40 Nigerian and international investors, and our partner, Eagle Hills, is sponsored by the Sovereign Wealth Fund of Abu Dhabi, which has over $1 trillion under management. Under our agreement with the FCDA and other extant agreements, we've paid all interested holders the compensation in the Centenary City site, and we are going ahead with their relocation, which is also being supervised by the FCDA. Our partners are here today, fully supporting the project. Like the PAMSEC of the FCTA said, the President is looking forward to a speedy completion of this project which, as planned, will provide over 100,000 construction jobs and 250,000 permanent, well-paying jobs at a cost of $18 billion, which is the largest private single foreign direct investment in Nigeria's history.
Well, as you've heard the MD of Century City PLC, we have done our due diligence as investors, and we're happy with the result. We cannot do due diligence into rumors. We can only do due diligence into facts. And the facts on record are good. All due process has been followed. This is a private sector investment. We as Eagle Hills were very happy to make this investment in the previous administration, and we're even happier to be here today in this administration's tenure. And we've been assured that Nigeria will always welcome foreign direct investment, and that's why we're here.
The federal government has once again come under criticisms from the Ekiti State Governor, Ayodele Fayose, over the appointment of Amina Zakari as acting chairman for INEC. Fayose, while inaugurating the State Independent Electoral Commission, says the appointment of Amina Zakari is morally wrong. He added that Ekiti State is ready to conduct local government election with the inauguration of EXIC. There are, however, cases still in court on the conduct of local government polls in Ekiti State, despite the PDP getting set for the polls.
The federal government as well to be equitable in the composition of the federal INEC. We don't want a situation where you want to put your in-law as INEC chairperson. It is against morals, it's uncalled for, and it's not fair. And I want to say clearly, my party is ready for the election. We are popular, we are ready to work hard, and we are going to do everything possible.
The Sultan of Sokoto, Mohammed Said, has urged Nigerian Muslim women to support the current fight against corruption by discouraging their husbands from engaging in corrupt acts. The Sultan, while speaking at the 30th anniversary of the Federation of Muslim Women Association in Nigeria, in Ilorin, noted that the change being championed in the country should start from homes for it to be positive and succeed. Rashid has more in this report from Ilorin.
Filled by various Muslim women organizations across the country, including contingents from Ghana, Ivory Coast and the United Kingdom, who came to felicitate with Form 1 in their 30th anniversary. Time for speeches. The guest of honor, Sultan of Sokoto Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar, says women must be in the vanguard of the war on corruption by discouraging their husbands from engaging in the act. He noted that Islam encourages living within one's means.
Discuss issues affecting our country. Discuss corruption. You have a big role to play. When your husband who had no power before was elected into an office, say a councillor of a local government, after 2, 3, 4 months, he started buying cars, building house for you. You should ask him, where are you getting this money from? Is the money that he's supposed to use to make that local government better or his community that is bring into your home? Don't follow him to enjoy that money. Question him. We must ask ourselves issues like that. We must bring the conscience of our people. If we want to change things, we must be the change we want to see in ourselves.
Kwara State Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed in his speech says ethnic disunity and religious imbalance in the country can be traced to lack of good leaders and urged women to train their children morally and spiritually for them to be good and responsible leaders of tomorrow.
I therefore offer good governance that delivers timely benefits to the people, as well as a return to traditional values of integrity, fairness, diligence, good neighborliness, and honesty, espoused in Islam and indeed Christianity as solutions to the challenges that we face, especially ethnic disunity and religious intolerance.
Both leaders also called on Nigerians to ensure that the present fight against corruption is successful by speaking out against it. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ilorin.
The Nigerian Bar Association is convinced that adequate funding of anti-graft agencies and political will are the required elements for a successful war against corruption. This was part of resolutions in a communique issued at the end of the one-week-long NBA Annual General Conference in Abuja. NBA President Augustine Alege, who presented the communique to journalists, added that lawyers who violate the rules guiding the profession would be sanctioned. Basila Kafo has more in this report presented from our studios.
The NBA 2015 annual conference attracted major players in the industry. President Muhammadu Buhari and his deputy, Yemi Osinbajo, were at the opening session, where the president asked the lawmakers not to truncate the cause of justice in the fight against corruption. But the lawyers say for the war against grafts to be won in the country, there must be a strong political will that includes adequate funding of anti-corruption agencies.
The legal education must be equipped to tap into the gains of information and communication technology in line with existing international best practices. That the ethics of the profession should be introduced into the curriculum of law faculties in the universities. That all lawyers are to play a more effective role in national development.
NBA is equally demanding for early preparation for the 2019 general elections to avoid failure. Participants at this year's conference held the organizers for a hitch-free event.
But today we thank God, the sessions, everything perfectly chosen, the topics were properly chosen, and the resource persons were well selected. So I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed with the conference.
Considering the facilities, you know, Abuja has in fact, the best facilities in the country. You understand? So the conference has been adjudged the best in recent times. It's a very nice conference.
The NBA will have reached several resolutions at this year's conference, but it remains to be seen if they will be implemented.
Operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission have arrested Danjuma Kuso, the past national president of the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria and former chairman of Kagako Local Government Area of Kaduna State. He was picked from his Banawa residence in Kaduna North Local Government Area at about 9:45 a.m. on Thursday. Family members who confirmed the development said Akusu was arrested over a petition by Abubakar Abba and John David on allegation of laundering billions of naira in public funds. In the petition, which was copied, President Muhammadu Buhari and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. The petitioners claimed that an account operated by Akusu in the Senate Bank had a balance of about 34 million naira before the 2015 general election, but grew to over 2 billion naira by April. The allegations that about 800 million naira was transferred to the account of former spokesman of the Jonathan Campaign Organization, Femi Fani Kayode. Governor Rochas Okorocha of Imo State is set to investigate the activities of ministry heads in order to reduce as barest minimum the embezzlement of public funds. The governor, who met with workers of the state to resolve the ongoing controversy over unpaid salaries, pointed out diverse reasons why the workers should not embark on drastic measures. Imo State correspondent Ajibadi Awofeso has more details in this report.
Settling unpaid salaries of workers is an urgent task for Governor Rochas Okorocha. The Imo State government had earlier attributed their inability to pay salaries to the fall in oil price, while also steps to pay all workers. The governor today sets up a committee he called Bailout Committee to see to the payment of all salaries. In the words of labor leaders, the meeting seems to bring some calm to the struggle.
The demand of labor is with government, and none of them is fabricated. Number two is that you are our governor, you are our partner. If Imo workers are hungry, they will drive to you. Labor and the entire workforce of Imo State
Some of the workers present at the meeting, who are eagerly awaiting the payment of their salaries, left the venue with relief. It's however expected that the Imo State government will match words with action. Ajibade Awofeso, CoreTV News, Owerri.
The management of the Jos University Teaching Hospital in Plateau State has stated its readiness to end the perennial loss of revenue by Nigeria as a result of the medical tourism, usually embarked upon by wealthy Nigerians in search of treatment abroad. The management of the institution, who made this promise during an interactive session with journalists in Jos, also outlined what they have been doing as a health institution in a challenging environment. Our Plateau State correspondent has more in this report presented from our studios.
With a loss of revenue to other economies of the world from Nigeria as a result of medical tourism often embarked upon by her citizens, thought to be in the billions annually, the management of the Jos University Teaching Hospital says they are poised to help in bringing this to an end.
Certain things that will be effective very soon in hospital. Those mothers and parents who currently do not have the ability to conceive, that will be a thing of the past very soon. This traveling, health travelers or economic tourism, going to India for renal transplant will be a thing of the past, because within the next 6 months, the hospital will be able to effectively carry out kidney transplant here in Jos.
You've heard that some team from the US have been visiting parts of this country to carry out heart surgery. Jos University Teaching Hospital has been chosen as one of those centers. And what they usually do is they start by assessing the center, see whether the facilities that is needed for the heart surgery is there. We are very confident that we have all the facilities that we require.
For the Chief Medical Director of the hospital, Edmund Banwat, while speaking on the courtesy call to the Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong, the hospital has made giant strides in
a couple of weeks, a team from USA will be in Jos to assess our facility for the commencement of open heart surgery. Research-wise, the hospital has been championing research in HIV/AIDS, as you are aware. This is sponsored by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which has transferred into the PEPFAR program, as you know. Cancer, and recently, our hospital has been chosen as a center for the Ebola vaccine trial.
This, according to him, will continue with the hospital contributing its quota to the development of the nation's health sector.
This is still CoreTV Primetime News. We'll be back after this time out to stories. Stay with us.
The iPhone, yeah. Hello?
Look at this, Juliet. Juliet. Julie. Selfie.
Need to sell something fast? Download the Everything app, upload a picture, and submit. The Everything app for when it's got to go right now. Everything.com, #1 for used goods.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and new city.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly.
Talk to your husband that you should keep promise about what you said, and because people are watching you, you know, another election is coming.
Also, some people will stand for Yoruba land, will be strong man. We don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
For more news and other programs, please visit our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/CoreTV News. You can follow us on Twitter at CoreTV News NG. Also visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/CoreTV, _news. Nigerian ambassador to the United States, Adebowale Ibidapo Adefoye, has died in Washington, D.C. Adefoye was recalled to Nigeria after President Muhammadu Buhari was sworn in as president, was still waiting to hand over to a new ambassador when he died. He was appointed by the former administration of President Goodluck Jonathan. Adebowale Ibidapo Adefoye, an historian, also served as Nigeria's ambassador to Jamaica and deputy high commissioner to the UK. He hailed from Ijebu-Igbo in Ogun State in 1947 and died at a yet-to-be-disclosed hospital in Washington at 68. Reactions have started coming in on the death of Adebowale Adefoye, Nigeria's ambassador to the United States. Former Ogun State Governor Gbenga Daniel, in a press release signed by his media aide, Ayo Giwa, described the late Adebowale Adefoye as a seasoned diplomat whose death will be felt around the world, having served across borders during his distinguished career. He expressed his deepest condolences on the sudden death of the late professor of history. The police authorities have redeployed 19 assistant inspector generals and 49 commissioners. This is in the aftermath of recent retirements and promotions in the police force. A statement issued by the Deputy Force PRO, Yomi Shogule, shows that AIG Joseph Mbo is now the commandant of the Police Staff College in Jos. Bala Hazan is the IG in charge of Zone 2, while Patrick Dokumo is Force Secretary. Some of the new postings are Tambari Muhammad remains in Kano as AIG Zone 1. Bala Nasara takes charge in Abuja, and Adiza Bolanta moves to Calabar. The only woman among them, AIG Helen Adeyemi, would be in charge of Osogbo. Among the new Commissioner of Police is Emmanuel Ojukwu, who has been transferred to Kogi State, while BC Kolawole is new spokesperson for the police force. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo tasked Ife Kingsmakers to make sure that the next Ooni is as influential as the departed Ooni, Oba Okwade Shijuade Olubushe II. He gave this charge during his condolence visit to Ile-Ife. For the former presidents, Ile-Ife is the central home of the Yoruba nation, and whoever will ascend to the throne of Ooni must be highly influential. He noted this will make the successor fitting to consolidate on the foundation laid by Oba Okwade Shijuade during his reign. He also paid glowing tribute to the late Onirisha.
And a man who made great effort to ensure unity within this country by making sure that he has friends among traditional rulers all over the country. A man who extolled our culture beyond the borders of Nigeria.
Obasanjo came to Ife, advised us, the Royal Traditional Council members, and the elders in Ife, the allies in Ife, that we should take caution that the successor to the Ooni Olubuse should be somebody that is better than what he had done.
There is a big task and a challenge to the people of Ife to ensure that the right person is picked who can fill the vacuum left behind by the late Ooni of Ife. It's a Herculean task, and no God will do it. I'm confident.
Residents of the Federal Capital Territory have been speaking on the latest appointments made by President Muhammadu Buhari. Some say the list is largely skewed in favor of the North, while others are of the view that sectional interests should be relegated to the background. They argued that the president has the power to appoint anyone he feels is capable on delivering on the change agenda. Paya Samuel has more.
It's one of the popular newsstands in the capital city. And for these youths, gathering here every morning is a tradition. Some of them get to the newsstand before the papers arrived on Friday morning, eager to read more about the latest presidential appointment. After reading, this is what takes place. It's clear that the new list of appointees is generating mixed reactions among Nigerians. These men are of the opinion that the appointments so far made have been too one-sided, with no regard for federal character.
The appointments have started coming, but Nigerians would rather have, an atmosphere where the appointments are spread across. It may sound a bit sentimental, but take it or leave it. There are, intellectuals and people qualified, most qualified for these positions and these appointments all across the zones of this country.
I'm not so contented with the recent appointments because of the way they are structured. I don't believe that ethnic or religious bias should be greater than the country Nigeria. Nigeria should always be placed above ethnicity or tribalism or all those. But we have a federal character that works in this country. I would have been okay if there is nothing like federal character.
With this latest appointment, it's like when you look at the view of people in many quarters, it's like he is biased about a section of the people.
For some, the project Nigeria must not fail. So they maintain that the president has picked people he believes will deliver. But they also want the president to tread with caution.
Buhari is the best president so far for now, on record. He's the best, and it's actually coming to salvage common Nigerians. And that is just one thing I would say about him as a person. And the man himself is a credible leader, a leader that does not have corruption in his DNA. And he wants to take Nigeria to a greater height.
Well, to me, I'm satisfied. I don't see anything wrong in appointment because this is just a kitchen cabinet. He wants to appoint people he thinks he can work with.
There is, however, a general sense of optimism that the present administration will bring the desired change that will better the lives of the common man. Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
Activist lawyer Festus Keyamo has described the criticisms of the latest appointments made by President Muhammadu Buhari as the orchestrated frustration of a few jobless politicians who depend only on government appointments. He also dismissed the position of the People's Democratic Party as the noise of the latest opposition party in town. He said in a statement the majority of Nigerians want to see good governance and are not bothered about the ethnic origin of those appointed into positions. Keyamo added that he is, however, worried about what he says is a decade-long general division of governance positions into juicy and non-juicy, as well as the mentality that juicy positions must be shared equally among the major ethnic groups. He argued that all public positions come with an equal responsibility to be honest, forthright and dedicated, and should not be classified as juicy or non-juicy. Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode on Thursday paid a condolence visit to the governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, to commiserate with him over the passage of his foster father, Malam Yahya Hamza. Hamza, who was a renowned educationist and former permanent secretary in the Federal Ministry of Education, passed on after a brief illness in the late hours of Tuesday. The governor, who added in his entourage the secretary to the state government, Tunji Bello, visited El-Rufai at the family residence in Kaduna, urged him to take solace in the fact that his father lived a fulfilled life, especially in the Kaduna State Civil Service, where he served as the secretary to the state government, as well as chairman of the Council of the West Africa Examination Council from 1997 to 2000. This is still CoreTV Primetime News. We'll be back after this time out with business, sports and stories from outside Nigeria. Please stay with us.
As news breaks, people don't let events pass without giving their comment or reactions.
When the problem arises in society, these are the people that you'll be consulting.
To cleanse the corruption in society, we are not to provide information for good life and also security of life and property in this country.
The academic society have the loudest voice on this platform.
Whether you call it a sovereign national conference or a national conference, it's about the people of Nigeria.
There should be a change in power.
In any way they can do it.
I think there's a script already.
Every Tuesday at 8:45 p.m. on this station. From the Ivory Tower, a must-watch for the learning minds.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Senate President Bukola Saraki on Friday inaugurated a 14-member ad hoc committee on power charged to the task in investigating the challenges surrounding the power sector. He maintained that only a stable and functional power sector will impact positively on the economy of the country. The Senate President also urged the committee headed by Abubakar Yari to employ all legislative tools in resolving the issues in the sector.
The power sector is a key driver of the economy, and as such, whatever we do in trying to address the power sector is essential in trying to address our economy. The power challenges that we have are real, they are serious, and they are many. Distinguished colleagues, there's work to be done concerning our power, and that is why we recollect a few weeks back we debated seriously on all the issues in the power sector. And as following to that, we took a resolution and agreed that an ad hoc committee should be set up, charged with responsibility of oversight on some of the issues of decision taken on generation, transmission, distribution of electricity in Nigeria.
On the distribution segment, the committee is desirous of ascertaining the level of funds committed into it before privatization, since the segment is currently solely private sector driven. It calls for vigilance as successor companies are expected to bring in investments to improve the quality of services in terms of the agreement. However, signals emanating from the activities shows that excessive profiteering has been the major determinant of their decisions. It is on record that some of the distribution companies reject power load allocations to reduce cost. Their metering system calls for fundamental review, since emphasis has been on estimated billings and imposition of fixed charges for services not rendered.
Despite the recent improvements in the supply of electricity, Nigeria may not meet its 6,000 megawatt power generation target for the year as a result of continued vandalism of transmission infrastructure. The Niger Delta Power Holding Company of Nigeria, NDPHC, on Thursday raised the alarm that the country's power supply was being threatened following the destruction of the major electricity transmission tie that connects the north-south loop to the national grid. It specifically stated that the hope of stable electricity supply might not be realized unless the atmosphere was provided, stressing that the deliberate vandalism of the 330 Alaoji Calabar line at the Huanganagan local government area of Abia State posed a great threat to power supply across the country. The managing director, NDPHC, James Olotu, in a document made available to newsmen in Abuja, stated that although the destruction of the said transmission tire was done on May 28 this year, the company had continued to receive reports of more impending attacks. Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi II, on Friday led a team of foreign investors to the presidential villa for a closed-door meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari. The Emir, who was in the State House in this capacity as the chairman of Black Rhino Group, also had chairman and co-founder of Blackstone Group, Stephen Swazihan, in the delegation. The investors who invest in infrastructure in Africa are keen on working alongside Dangote Group to make substantial investments in the power sector in the country. The team later visited Senate President Bukola Saraki, where the investors were assured of laws that would make investing in Nigeria conducive. The Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority has put its total commitment to the construction of the second Niger Bridge at $2.21 million. The project is structured as a public-private partnership and will be constructed and operated on a design, build, finance, operate and transfer basis. It is expected that the bridge would be constructed and delivered in 48 months. When completed, the bridge and adjacent roads would have 6 lanes, with 3 in each direction. The project was initially estimated to cost 108 billion naira, excluding duties and value-added tax. If duties and VAT are included, the project cost is 117.9 billion naira. The agency, in a statement made available to newsmen in Abuja, said as part of measures aimed at ensuring the effective implementation of the project, it had assembled a team of Nigerian and international advisors with proven capabilities and global experience in PPP infrastructure projects to ensure the project gets first-class advisory services. Pension fund administrators have released a total sum of 300 billion naira to 130,224 retirees under the contribution pension scheme between 2007 and 2015. Statistics obtained from the National Pension Commission on Thursday indicated that 111,756 of the retirees were paid the monthly pensions of 3.4 billion naira through their PFAS, while 18,468 received 917.7 million naira monthly from insurance companies. The Commission also facilitated the transfer of 91.5 billion naira premium from the PFAS to insurance companies, underwriting an annuity for the monthly payments to the retirees. Under the Pension Reform Act 2014, workers are not allowed to take everything saved in their retirement savings account during their working years when they retire. They are, however, entitled to a lump sum from the balance in their RSAs, while the rest will be paid to them monthly, either as programmed withdrawal or as annuity. And outside Nigeria, autopsy ordered after Vatican's former envoy to Dominican Republic, Joseph Veselowski, dies of apparent natural causes. Veselowski would have been the first high-ranking church official to be tried on sex abuse charges. The Vatican has said its disgraced former ambassador to the Dominican Republic, Joseph Veselowski, has died of apparent natural causes. A statement from the Vatican said Joseph Veselowski was found dead in his Vatican room early on Friday, where he had been under house arrest. The Vatican prosecutor ordered an immediate autopsy. The Polish-born Veselowski was due to go on trial on July 11 at a Vatican tribunal on charges of abuse and possession of child pornography. However, the hearing was postponed after he was taken ill. Veselowski would have been the first high-ranking church official to be tried on sex abuse charges. The case was seen to be a test of the Vatican's pledge to stamp out abuse. Veselowski has been expelled under canon law procedures but was facing a jail sentence if convicted in a Vatican civil tribunal. Veselowski was charged with paying for sex with and abusing children in the Dominican Republic between 2008 and 2013. He was also charged with possession of child pornography dating from as recently as his return to Rome in 2013. The charges have been part of the crackdown by Pope Francis on clerics and employees of the church who exploit minors. Meanwhile, Hungarian police say they have arrested 4 people over the discovery of the bodies of 71 migrants thought to be Syrian in a lorry in Austria. 3 of those arrested are Bulgarian and 1 is Afghan. The victims included 59 men, 8 women, and 4 children who are thought to have been dead for about 2 days. The decomposing bodies were discovered by Austrian police on Thursday morning in the abandoned lorry near the Hungarian border. Officials said the victims probably died after suffocating in the vehicle. The lorry was towed to a customs building with refrigeration facilities where forensic teams worked through the night to examine the bodies. The group are thought to have been dead when the vehicle crossed into Austria from Hungary. Among the victims was a girl aged between 1 and 2 years old. Officials say that hundreds of people have died dead after 2 boats carrying about 500 migrants sank off Libya, the first boat which capsized early on Thursday, and nearly 100 people on board. The second, which sank later, was carrying about 400 passengers. Rescuers have pulled 82 bodies from the water and saved 198 people. According to Red Crescent official Ibrahim Al-Atosh, about 100 people are reported to be still missing. The boat sank on Thursday after leaving Zuwara, a major launch pad on the Libyan coast for migrants hoping to reach Italy. And in the world of sports, Arsenal will face Bayern Munich in the Champions League for a third time in 4 seasons after being drawn against the German club in the group stage. Manchester United will play PSV Eindhoven, where Dutch striker Memphis Depay set to face his old club. Chelsea play Porto, the club whose boss Jose Mourinho started a shock victory in the competition in 2004. Manchester City face Juventus, Europa League winners Sevilla and German side Borussia. Each team will play 6 fixtures on the group stage, with the first match day taking place on 15 and 16 September. All 4 English clubs avoided drawing either defending champions Barcelona or Real Madrid, who have won the European Cup 10 times. Tottenham have completed the signing of forward Heung-min Son from Bayern Leverkusen, subject to international clearance. A South Korean international signed a 5-year contract with the North Londoners and will wear their number 7 shirt. Leverkusen sporting director Rudy Volley confirmed on Wednesday that Son had flown to London to undergo a medical ahead of a move believed to be worth around $22 million. And the 23-year-old now becomes sports' 4th summer signing of a relatively quiet window, joining Clinton Jay, Karen Trippier and Kevin Wimmer at White Hart Lane. Southampton failed to reach the Europa League group stage as they were beaten by Danish champions. A first-half goal from former Celtic striker Martin Ramussen secured a 2-1 aggregate win and with these a place on Friday's group stage draw. The Saints saw an early Jose Fonte effort cleared off the line, but were then punished by Ramussen's angled shot following a J. Rodriguez error. Southampton rarely looks like getting an away goal to force extra time. After finishing 7th in the Premier League last season, this was a disappointing end to Southampton's first entry in Europe since 2004. Ronald Koeman's side eased past Dutch club Vincent Arnhem in the first qualifying round, but did not convince against them in the first leg, drawing 1-1 at St. Mary's. Britain's Andy Murray has been drawn against controversial Australian Nick Kyrgios in the first round of the US Open, which begins on Monday. The 28-year-old has played Kyrgios twice in Grand Slams this year, winning in straight sets both the Australian and French Opens. World number 37, 20 was fined $10,000 this month for an insulting remark to Stan Wawrinka. Top-seed Novak Djokovic takes on John Sousa of Brazil in New York. Women's defending champion Serena Williams was aiming to complete a calendar Grand Slam, will play Russian Valentina Shevchenko, when men's defending champions Marin Cilic will face a qualifier. Murray could face French Open champion Wawrinka in the quarterfinals and second-seed Roger Federer in the semis. World number 1 Jordan Spieth is 9 short off the first-round lead at the Barclays after shooting his worst round since May. The American 22 shot 5 bogeys and 1 double bogey in his final 9 holes to cut a 3-over par 74. America's Bubba Watson, Spencer Levin, and Tony Finau, and Colombia's Camilo Villegas lead on 6 under. England's Paul Casey and Scotland's Rizzo Knox among 6 players, 1 shot off the lead in New Jersey. Englishman Lee Westwood is 3 under par, with compatriots Greg Owen a shot further back and the donut 2 over. Ian Poulter is tied for last place in 7 over and Justin Rosé 1 shot better off. With that, it's a wrap on CoreTV Primetime News tonight. But before we go, a quick reminder of a major story. President Muhammadu Buhari expresses satisfaction on assurances given by developers of Centenary City in Abuja. Sultan of Sokoto Mohammed Said Abubakar urges Muslim women to support the anti-graft war of the Buhari administration. Nigeria's ambassador to the United States, Adebowale Adefuye, dies at 68. Many thanks for staying with us this night. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. Do have a wonderful night rest.